This is going to be a relatively short part of the ZZ tutorial because it has basic concepts that anybody who can learn F2L can learn. Basically, what this concept is you don't have to build a cross on the bottom in order to do F2L. Although that may seem like the right thing to do if you come from CFOP, it's actually pretty inefficient if you do it in ZZ. That would be like a standard F2L right there for CFOP, but that's pretty inefficient, and I'm going to show you a way to do it better. Okay, so let's solve our EO line. So we can orient edges like that, and then we can put the pieces in the line like that. However, we don't have to build a cross after this. So I can see that we can just pair up these two pieces in a relatively efficient way. So I can do a U prime, and then an L prime, and an R prime, U prime, R. And those two pieces are paired up, and they just need to be connected with this edge to form a square. So we can just move that out of the way, push this over here, do a U2 to make the square, and then insert it like that. And you don't have to preserve this. You can actually like push it up like that if you feel it would be more efficient, but that's kind of the basic concept of doing this. And by building that block, we also inserted that cross edge, which we can preserve if we want, but it's not necessary. Now, all of that may have sounded really confusing to you, but basically what we want to do is we want to look for corners and cross edges first in order to make a square, which is just a 2x2x1 block. So for this pair, just think of it as you're pairing up a green F2L pair. Like, so if you were to have a green cross or a green EO line, just think of it like that. So you could pair it up, you could pair these two stickers up with these two. So, and that's a green F2L pair. If we were to have a green cross, we would be able to insert that. So just think of it like that. Think of it as you're making an F2L pair from a different color. And so then, to make the square, we just have to connect this block with this edge piece. So what we want to do is we want to move it over to the correct center, either the left or the right center, and then move this sticker down to the opposite center. Because if we move it here to the right center, we can't connect it. But if we move it to the opposite center, it's connectable. And then we can insert it like that. And then we can also make a 2x1x1 block by just doing standard F2L. And that completes an entire right block. And then with this one, we can do this to make a green F2L pair and connect it like this, and then move this down to the opposite center, insert it like that. Although that was not very efficient because then I'm going to have to insert this thing. So instead of doing that, we could have just done like that. Oh, and I forgot to mention, if you're transitioning from a beginner method to this method, you're probably not going to understand what I'm doing here. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave a link to a really good F2L tutorial in the description below so that you can understand what F2L actually is before you start block building with it. Just like with the EO line, there's not really much I can do to show you how this works. I can just show you walkthrough solves over and over again. If you guys would like that, I can gladly do that. So yeah, that's all block building really is. I'm just going to have to show you walkthrough solves if you don't understand it. So ask for that in the comments if you don't get what I'm doing right now. So as with intuitive F2L, you should be able to figure this out pretty intuitively. And if there are some cases that are pretty bad that you can't really do intuitively, just learn algorithms for those cases. But make sure that you're tracking the pieces around the cube, because if you don't, then you're not going to be able to look ahead as easily. So just learn those algorithms, and I've used a couple of algorithms for that specific purpose. Like for this case, this intuitively is like, and that's pretty bad, that's a lot of moves. But instead I would use an algorithm that goes like, to put that edge piece in, and that's only 8 moves, as opposed to however many moves that was. That was a normal F2L case, but the same concept can be applied for block build cases. So yeah, that's pretty much all this tutorial is, this part of it at least. next part, I will be going into different last layer subsets and just introducing you guys to these subsets. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the tutorial. If this helped, please like and subscribe, and comment some feedback down in the comment section below, because I would love to hear you guys' opinions, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.